3. Scary True Christmas Horror Stories. Story 1. The Stranger Who Came for Christmas. I thought a simple Christmas date would help me forget my breakup. But instead, I invited a stranger into my home. A stranger who drugged me, watched me while I was paralyzed, and walked out with everything she could steal. I had just become single again. After a 2-year relationship ended, the house felt emptier than ever. Christmas was coming up, and I thought, maybe a little company would help. So I opened Tinder, started swiping, and that's when I matched with a girl named Tracy. We chatted for a few days. She seemed sweet, normal kinda, quirky, but harmless. Then she said she'd love to help me decorate my Christmas tree. Honestly, I thought it was cute. I said yes. I told her the tree was in the attic, and it usually took 2 people to get it down. She instantly replied, "I can help. I'm stronger than I look." That line should have been my first red flag. The night she came over, something felt off. She stepped inside, and I realized she was taller than me, around 5 feet 10 inches and standing way too close. And she was wearing this strong perfume, except underneath it, there was a faint hint of body odor that didn't make sense for someone who cared so much about appearances online. But I tried to shake it off. We poured wine, laughed a little, dragged the dusty fake Christmas tree down from the attic, and started decorating. For a moment, it almost felt normal. Then the room started to spin. At first, I thought maybe I stood up too fast. But no, my head felt heavy, unfocused, like my thoughts were underwater. The wine tasted different, stronger. My tongue felt thick, my hands shaky. I went to the hallway to grab more ornaments, and that's when I realized Tracy was gone. I checked the living room, the bathroom, the kitchen, even the back door. Nothing. It was like she had evaporated into the walls. At some point, I still don't know when, my vision went completely black. When I opened my eyes again, everything was dark, except the faint glow of Christmas lights reflecting off the ornaments. And in that soft glow, I saw something. A silhouette. Tall, still standing right in front of me. My heart started slamming against my ribs. I tried to move, tried to speak, but my limbs felt cemented to the couch. It was like my body had shut down completely. The silhouette stepped closer. It was her. Tracy. Her face was emotionless. No smile, no explanation. She didn't even look human in that moment. Just this tall, silent figure watching me choke on my own fear. Then suddenly she turned and bolted toward the stairs. I couldn't follow, couldn't even lift my head. I just listened to her footsteps. The drawers opening, cabinets being searched, bottles clinking. When I woke up again, sunlight was in my eyes. My head felt like it had been split in half, and my house looked like someone had quietly ransacked it. My pills were gone, every bottle of vitamins, even an old prescription of Oxy I didn't think I still had. And Tracy blocked me everywhere, vanished like she never existed. It took me days to realize the truth. She didn't come to decorate a Christmas tree. She came prepared. She came knowing what she wanted, and she came knowing exactly how to leave me helpless while she took it. That Christmas, I never decorated the tree. And honestly, I don't think I ever will again, because now I know. Sometimes the scariest part of the holidays isn't being alone. It's letting the wrong person in. Story 2. The Santa Who Shouldn't Have Been. I was only 7, home alone on Christmas Eve, when a man in a Santa suit knocked on our door. He said he brought presents, but something about him made my blood run cold. It was 1997. My sister and I were home alone on Christmas Eve. Our dad had to work late, and our mom, she was passed out drunk on the couch, leaving us to fend for ourselves. We weren't exactly expecting anything exciting that night, just the usual quiet, lonely hum of a small apartment. But as the clock ticked closer to bedtime, a sound shattered the silence. A knock at the door. At first, I thought maybe it was a neighbor or a delivery. But when I peeked through the peephole, my heart froze. A man was standing there, dressed in a full Santa Claus suit, red velvet, white trim, the whole package. His beard was slightly crooked, and his eyes, there was something off about them. He smiled, holding a large sack. "Merry Christmas," he said, in a deep, cheerful voice. "I've brought you some presents." I froze. My sister was right behind me, clutching my sleeve. "We didn't celebrate Christmas. We were Jewish. We don't need presents," I stammered. "You should go." But he didn't. He just stepped closer. His grin didn't reach his eyes. And suddenly, the sack of presents looked heavy, almost menacing. My stomach twisted into knots. I could feel the panic rising. My little sister was scared too. I knew we needed to act fast. I grabbed every candle I could find and lit them around the apartment. Smoke started filling the room, just enough to trigger the smoke detector. I pressed the button repeatedly, praying someone would come. The man in the Santa suit laughed low and sinister, saying things like, "Don't worry, kids. Santa knows best." My hands were shaking, my heart pounding. I tried to sound brave, yelling, "Help! Fire!" Within minutes, the fire department arrived, flashing red lights, bathing our apartment in an eerie glow. The man tried to convince them he was our dad. "I'm just Santa. Everything's fine," he said, voice trembling. But the firefighters weren't buying it. They saw right through him. He was arrested shortly after, and my sister and I finally exhaled. We were safe. Looking back, it's terrifying to think what could have happened if I hadn't trusted my instincts, if I'd opened the door. That Christmas, no tree, no gifts, no carols, just fear, quick thinking, and survival. I was only 7, but I learned something I'll never forget. Sometimes the people who seem magical can be the most dangerous, and your instincts can be the only thing that saves you. That night, our faith and my quick thinking didn't just save presents, they saved our lives. Story 3. The Airbnb from Hell. Charlotte and I thought we were escaping to a cozy Christmas getaway. But what awaited us in the Pocono Mountains was far from a winter wonderland. Somewhere between the snow, the hot tub, and the quiet nights, we realized we were being watched. It was December 2022. The snow was falling steadily, layering the Pocono Mountains in a blanket of white. My girlfriend, Charlotte, and I had booked a charming Airbnb, complete with twinkling lights, a decorated tree, and a roaring fireplace. We were excited, just the two of us. A snowstorm approaching, perfect for a romantic Christmas escape. At first, everything seemed magical. The air smelled of pine, the cabin crackled with warmth, and outside, the world was silent under the snow. But that perfect illusion didn't last long. On our second night, a man showed up at the door. He said his name was Tom, and claimed to be the host's brother. He explained he needed to check the hot water heater. Something about him immediately felt off. His smile didn't reach his eyes, and there was a strange familiarity I couldn't place. But worse, I noticed footprints in the snow outside that didn't match any of ours, winding around the cabin as if someone had been circling it. The previous night, there had been knocks at the door, quiet but deliberate. I had brushed them off as the wind until now. I called the actual host, Mike, trying to confirm Tom's story. "He doesn't exist," Mike said, voice low, almost shocked. "I don't have a brother." My heart sank. Every unease I'd brushed off, the footsteps, the knocks, the feeling of being watched suddenly clicked into place. We weren't alone. Panic set in. Charlotte and I grabbed our things as quickly as we could, adrenaline pumping. We ran to the car, hoping to leave the nightmare behind. As we drove away, I caught glimpses of Tom in the shadows near the cabin, his figure blurred by falling snow, He seemed calm, almost waiting for us watching every move. Later, when the police arrived at the Airbnb, they confirmed what I feared. No one else should have been there. The cabin was supposed to be empty, except for us. Whoever that man was, he had been there from the moment we arrived. Watching us through windows, listening in the hot tub. Possibly planning something far worse. That Christmas getaway, which was meant to be cozy and joyful, had turned into a waking nightmare. It's a reminder, the holiday season can hide dark surprises. Trust your instincts. Notice the little signs, and never ignore that creeping feeling when something just isn't right. Somewhere in the quiet snowfall, someone could be watching. Which holiday story shocked you the most, Tracy? Santa or the Airbnb from hell? Comment below. And if you want more chilling true stories that will keep you awake during the holidays, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because the snow doesn't always hide peace. Sometimes it hides terror.